we are sitting on the balcony of Normandy Inn at Winshape, eating an amazing scone.
What flavor do you think this is?
Pumpkin.
They call it Normandy because it looks just like all the property here looks like Normandy, France, including this brick roof behind us. I think in 4 or 5 more years, this roof will have been on there for 100 years. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
This whole property is just so gorgeous at Winshape. I wanted to talk specifically about God and making a way for us in our life and what we're doing, and just acknowledging how He has been such a way maker in opening up doors, closing doors, and leading us in the ministry of marriage.
And what's interesting about this video is this is our second time doing this video, because the first video we did at the Waymaker conference, and it was a great video, except for the background was so loud you couldn't hear our voices very well. So, didn't work out.
A lot of people around, a lot of noise in a conference center, and it was so good. I feel like the way we related, the way we had conversation, the things we talked about was very valuable, and it wasn't meant to be. And so that's what this video is going to be about, is how God has made a way in our lives and the things we've done. You know, in the beginning of August of 2021, we ended up closing both of our companies, and we could see God making a way for that, because we even back up further to March of 2021 and was able to see where we really felt called into the marriage ministry. And Adele and I were like, how in the world is that going to happen when we're managing 2 companies that we need to be in all the time? How would we go out and do marriage ministry? How would that even work? And then in August, it was obvious that it's time for us to close our companies because of the circumstances that were involved. It was just had to happen. And it was like, now you have your opportunity to do marriage ministry now that you no longer have those companies.
Well, what's interesting about that is when we felt called to the marriage ministry in March, we had already felt God's calling to write some books, and had been giving us a lot of wisdom over the year prior to that. And so when we felt God call us in March, like Travis said, we were like, how are we going to do this? We brainstormed the Noble Project and all the ideas that God has given us on this massive whiteboard in our living room. And the project ended up being way bigger than we ever expected it to be, and it was a little bit overwhelming.
It was.
And so we did that in March, and then we kind of put it in our garage, like, let's just not look at all the work that needs to be done here, because I don't know when we're gonna find time to do that. Or
Overwhelming.
I mean, we were already at our max capacity with our businesses and just couldn't fathom doing anything else. And so then we had a couple that approached us, and we just told her what we were up to. She's our photographer. And she's like, oh my gosh, we need premarital coaching. Do you guys do that? And we were like, yeah, we do. And so that prompted us, as that's where we felt God wanting us to really start on the project. And premarital material was actually on that project. And so it made perfect sense that we start there. So we did, and we created this online transformational course for couples to go through, either premarital or in any season of marriage. It's transformational no matter where you're at in your marriage. Yeah. And it's been cool to see how God has worked since then.
It has. So there's been, to give you like the realm of it, there's a couple that's went in through the course and hadn't been married yet. And then there's a couple that's going through the course that has 28 years of marriage, and they're both getting
so much
things out of that's making a difference for them. I was going to ask you something that may not be obvious to people, is why the marriage ministry? Because we have always been entrepreneurs. We have worked.
Yeah, why does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well, our story of we've been married 15 years this weekend. It's our anniversary weekend.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
And we're in the best place for an anniversary too.
Yes,
at Winshape.
we are. Winshape Retreat. And I don't remember what I was saying.
Well, why did we get into the marriage ministry? Why in the world would we do that?
Our marriage over the last 15 years has a very dynamic story, and what we have been through as a couple. We have so many different things that have occurred, and we have grown and learned so much through that process. We had 12 years of marriage that did not work, and we were heading for divorce fast. And in 2018, you'll have to click our story. Our link is below this video. I'll post it there so you can actually go read our whole story. But in 2018, we had a wake-up call. And that wake-up call was, you're about to lose your marriage unless something drastically changes. And what's cool about that is we started coming here in 2016.
Yeah.
And we were in a tough place in 2016. You were battling PTSD and addicted. Yeah. And I was battling my own addictions with wine and shopping and things like that. And when we started coming here, it automatically started shifting our marriage because we started looking at our marriage as a priority. And so even though the next 2 years, 2016 and 17, were really tough years, in 2018, we did like a 180.
Yeah.
And things just had a massive turnaround. And so be sure and look, check out our story below.
Read the story because we could speak for 40, 50 minutes.
And maybe we'll
not
do
even
that.
Cover it all. Yeah, maybe we should.
If you would like us to cover our story on a video like this, comment below and let us know that, and we're happy to share our story. Yeah, because our story is very relatable, and we have a lot of different things that we've dealt with. Both of us raised in a great Christian home, and that doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yeah. So why are we doing this? Like Adele said, we had 12 years of marriage that did not work, and then the last 3 we have concentrated on our marriage.
We made it our priority.
It is an absolute priority. And we have dived into everything we possibly could to figure out why our marriage wasn't working. And what I discovered is our marriage isn't working because there's something that I needed to take care of on my own.
We were incomplete.
Yeah, something I needed to take care of and get myself whole and complete, and get Adele whole and complete, because we were coming to the marriage incomplete, expecting each other to complete us. And so we had 12 years of that, and then we've had 3 years of healing. And so the reason we're in this is one is we love each other, we love you guys, we love other people, we love couples, and we love Jesus. And it's a perfect combination to be able to say that we're not experts, but we do have a story, and we do have the ability to share that story and what has worked for us.
And we have always had the mindset since we started coming here in 2016, and we decided our marriage would be a priority. We have always decided that we would constantly grow and learn more in our marriage, and we have. Yeah. And we've sought out different classes and things for us to do, and Winshape is a part of that, because twice a year we come to a marriage retreat, and it is such a reset for our marriage, and we learn so much every time we're here that it just has us leaving with another tool in our back pocket. Not that our marriage isn't working right now. Our marriage is working amazing. We love each other. We have the best connection we've ever had. And there's still more to learn. And so for the couples that are watching, I encourage you, don't just sit back now that you're married and you don't have to grow, you don't have to learn, you don't have to do anything for your marriage because it's done.
I have a great example of that. So Adele used to drive a Kia. Remember your Kia?
You're going to tell this story.
So Adele used to drive a Kia.
So embarrassing.
And at some point when the Kia wasn't working right, she discovered that the oil hadn't been changed, and there's
You discovered that.
Yeah, there's no oil in it, and the oil hadn't been changed. She's like, "You got to do that?"
How do you do that? Nobody taught me that.
And like the common theory is, every couple thousand miles, every couple months, you need to change your oil so that your maintenance on your vehicle is maintained, so your vehicle has a more of a life to it. And the same thing applies to our marriage. When we are engaging on a routine basis to have maintenance in our marriage, and you are a priority, routinely a priority, then our marriage can be maintained similar to a vehicle.
Yeah, so that's what I was referring to is, look for retreats to go to that are going to enrich your life and your marriage and help you, look at your priorities in life. This is somebody that I'm doing life with every single day for the rest of my life. Why don't I want to enrich that on a regular basis? So, anyways.
That's good.
We were talking about how God is a way maker and how he's showing us the way. So what's cool, so many things have happened, and in that other video we shared so much. But recently what has really been cool is just watching God connect us with the right people, because we don't know which direction to go with this. Like I was telling Travis, I have such a entrepreneur mindset. We both do, that I'm constantly like, okay, we're starting up a new business, and my mind just wants to like go with it. I love business. I love growing a business. It's a passion of mine, and I just don't know like which direction to go with it, because this is so new, and we know God has called us to be pioneers out in the marriage ministry, and there are so many different pathways to take. And so what's been cool is how God is bringing the right people to take us down certain paths. And there's no coincidence about any of this stuff.
Yeah. Have you noticed that the right people come along when we're not trying to make them come along?
Yeah. It's like we're just having lunch yesterday, and Bubba Kathy just walks over, and like he's never here.
Yeah.
Him and his wife ended up sitting down, and we got to eat lunch with them. And
such a beautiful couple. Yeah, Bubba Kathy and Cindy Kathy. Such a beautiful couple.
They are. They're just so real, down to earth, like funny, cool people. And just like they got so excited about our marriage ministry and what we're doing. And that gets us excited. When other people get excited about what we're doing, we get more like, okay, this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Because sometimes I wonder.
Yeah, if people don't get excited, it's like, well, maybe this isn't what we should be doing. Maybe it's not the right. Yeah. So it's just cool to see like the people that we share this with, how they react to it is a message from the Lord as well, which is just so cool. Point. And we don't know what that kind of connection or meeting them how that'll affect our ministry in the future. But we know that was a God-appointed moment that we were meant to meet. And then we got to meet a lot of other people that, we didn't even have any, idea that we'd be meeting people yesterday.
No.
We were here to hang out with Nancy and Buddy, which you'll be seeing an interview that we did with them. Such an amazing couple.
Beautiful couple.
They have had such an impact on our marriage. They were our host couple for our Marriage Intensive in this building here behind us. And they just served us in a way that you and I had never been served before. And
No.
just their hearts and who they are as people and their real love for couples. I was like, I would love to do that someday. Like, make a difference for another couple like they are for us.
If you've ever been around someone who loves Jesus and loves you, and really all they want to do is serve you and pour into you and love on you, that's something that is rare.
It is.
And without expecting something in return. I think a lot of times now there's an expectation of, I'll serve you and I'll give you this, but I need to have something in return. And that's just not the case with them.
Yeah, they're so giving. So be looking for that interview coming soon. So that's just been since we've been here, and I was just having a conversation with God the other day, like, okay, you're gonna have to like give me something here, because I don't know all that I should be doing. Like, what is being responsible on my side? We've got to figure out how we're gonna make an income.
Right.
That's like a priority, and I don't know what path God has for us. So it's a lot of like patience and faith and trust and just stepping out there and seeing where he takes us, which I feel like I was telling God this too. I was like, I mean, your plans are going to be so much better than what I could come up with, or where we're going to end up with, or, you know, what we're going to do anyways. It's just the patience part that makes it really difficult sometimes.
I asked you when you were done, when you told me, you was like, I went and had this long conversation with God, and I said,
It was like a 30-minute conversation.
I said, what did he say? And your response was nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing back.
But then you said something really dynamic, and it goes back to the story we just said earlier. He's like, well, we're going to Winshape, and I'm just not going to worry about it, and we'll address it when we come back. You know, something will just happen when it needs to.
And we've met so many cool people since we arrived yesterday. It's just so cool to see God work. So.
Waymaker.
He is. He's such a waymaker. So I'm sure this will be a continued video as we share like bits and pieces of how God is leading us and directing our path and all of it. Yeah,
and let us know. I know Adele said leave a comment if you wanted to know about our entire story, but also leave comments about what you want to hear, either in our story and who you want us to interview, because that's our goal now. Is we are interviewing couples, married couples, and if you have someone, let us know who that is.
Yeah, and we're also starting comment of the week. So we will be reading one comment every single week from one of our videos. And so if you want your comment to be read, whether it be a question or just a comment, be sure and comment below, and you may be the one that we read.
That's right.
Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thanks.